Capricorn. This is your love and relationship reading for November 2018. So let me shuffle the cards for a few more seconds. And then I'll get started with the reading. Your first card is a Two of Wands. This is a Seven of Wands. Nine of Swords. Five of Pentacles. You have the World reverse. You have the Empress. This is a Three of Swords. The Fool. And the High Priestess. And I will pull one more card for the outcome. This is interesting. First off, you've got the World here reversed in the center, and the World is sort of like, it's the last card in the major arc, almost the last card in the, it is the last card in the major arcana. And when you get to the World, it means that you start a new cycle. Lessons are complete. You've achieved everything you needed to achieve. You've learned all the lessons you needed to learn. And I'm kind of interested in the fact that you have this little block of major arcana working together, and you have this strong female energy as well with the Empress and the High Priestess. The Empress is the goddess of the material world. The High Priestess, of course, rules passively the spiritual world. And then you also have the Fool. And interestingly enough, the Fool embraces the spiritual and material. The Fool follows his bliss and what makes him happy. He allows his spiritual insight and the lessons learned to guide him in the material world, new journeys, new experiences. So it feels as if this is a matter of you breaking free. And the cards in your past influences sort of tell me a lot about that. The past influences on November. And what's happening November is interesting for two reasons. You have this pentacle, Five of Pentacles, which means abandonment and loneliness. And so these two major arcana are very strongly associated with the earth because, of course, this is the world. And then you have the goddess of the material physical world as well. And so it feels as if you have been abandoned. It feels as if your partner has stopped trying in the relationship. You feel alone. But more importantly, it also feels as if you need a change, that you need to break free. And so it seems like a lot of things are falling into place for you, Capricorn, because you have this Three of Swords, and here you have this Nine of Swords as a precursor that kind of gives me a heads up what's going on with your partner. Drama and worry, anxiety. And so as this plays out in the future, this disappointment, this heartbreak, it's also a card of healing. Surviving emotional pain, healing so that you can pick yourself back up. And so when we get to the Fool, that's exactly what's happening. But we also have your future with a stronger spiritual sense of what it is you need. And this is the perfect card for healing. The Fool and the High Priestess, what they share in common, and many of the major arcana cards sort of overlap with their energies and their themes. And so the theme between the Fool and the High Priestess with this in your future is they're about spiritual enlightenment and awareness and making your feeling whole. Okay. And so that seems to make a lot of sense because it's following that Three of Swords. So these four major arcana cards are sending, the Oracle seems to be sending a strong message to you, Capricorn, that sometimes it's just good to leave toxic situations alone. There's no point in trying to make those situations work with someone who doesn't want to commit, who doesn't want to trust, who doesn't want to communicate. And so when I come back here, there's also this Wands energy with Swords. So we start off with this Two of Wands, which is the card of successful partnerships or partial completion. But then we get, and I feel like this is the energy of your partners or love interests, where there's this defensiveness. This person wants to have their way no matter what. And usually this can be a good card because it means you using your wits and your know-how and your strength and your determination to fight for what you want, to defend yourself. But I feel like what's going on here with the energy of your partner, they're pushing you away. And so we have this Nine of Swords, lots of drama, misunderstandings. And so as this all plays out, this is when we get here, these past influences for November, pushing you away. You're alone. You haven't reached completion yet. You and your partner have not reached real self-actualization about your relationship. And this Empress here, as I said, she's the goddess of the material world. But many times when I see her pop up in a reading, I kind of like start to think, is this about an indiscretion, a third party? Is this about an ex-boyfriend, or is this about an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend? And so things are turned upside down. Things are not resolved here in regards to this Empress, because I'm not necessarily, she is the goddess of the material world, but she's also very, she has a strong sexual energy. You'll see that here. She's pregnant. She's also the goddess of fertility. So I feel like this Empress, looking at the context of the cards, especially this drama, this abandonment, this loneliness, it seems as if the energy of this Empress, this sexual energy, this seduction, is causing a lot of issues in a relationship. It's making the relationship toxic. And so that's when we start to break away. That's when we start to heal. That's when we start to just walk away. So I'm going to pull the outcome card to see how this will all turn out. you have a Queen of Pentacles. And this is wonderful. And let me say why. Obviously, because you're an earth sign, the Queen of Pentacles is obviously responding to your energy. I feel like she's the queen. Remember, queens are passive. But when I see this Queen of Pentacles as your outcome, it means that you're going to be grounded and stable. You're going to be secure within yourself, pulling away from this toxic situation. And I'm not necessarily saying that you guys, some of you might be breaking up, but consider the fact that the Queen of Pentacles in this particular tarot deck, the Queen of Pentacles represents Capricorn, which I think is a wonderful message from the Oracle for you, that you will heal, you will feel secure within yourself, you will reach another level of spiritual awareness as you break away from this toxic situation. And it could be just a temporary toxic situation. And obviously it'll play out in different ways for many of you. But I'm kind of seeing you saying, okay, I'm just going to walk away from this. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to get myself upset over things I cannot control. And so I think this is wonderful, that not only is this Queen of Pentacles the significator for Capricorn, but it's sort of like a guarantee from the Oracle. The Oracle's giving you a little bit of advice saying you'll be okay. And this person, this world that's reversed, eventually, this world will right itself because you decided to pull back, and you decided to take care of yourself, and you decided to understand the lesson. I feel like this is going to be a learning moment for you, Capricorn, as far as you getting spiritual insight about what's happening in your toxic relationship, or with this toxic person, or with this toxic situation. And you're just going to take some time off and say, okay, have it your way. I'm going to be fine. So this is actually, it kind of got pretty scary here with the past and the present, or with the month of November. But I see a lot of wonderful things happening here. Okay. So if some of you Capricorns are dealing with a pretty difficult situation with your partner, and it doesn't even have to be about being with a third party or seeing someone else or cheating. It can just be about someone who is shut off spiritually and emotionally, and who cannot take care of your needs. So these pentacles and these earth associated major arcana, they seem to be reflecting your energy and your practical nature, as most earth signs are. And whatever you decide to do about this relationship, it seems as if the Oracle is saying you're making the right decision. If you need to break away, do it. If you need to leave this person behind, do it. Okay? So that was your reading, Capricorn. I just want to, as always, give a big thank you and shout out to everyone who subscribes, my supporters, my clients, my sponsors on Patreon. I appreciate you so much. I have a special promotion for my relationship energy reading. It's my most popular reading, and it's only $10 for the rest of the year. And this reading goes into what your partner's feeling and thinking, and what their intent is in the relationship, what is the connection like between you two, what's going to happen in the future. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading from me, this would be the perfect opportunity. So consider that, and consider trying it out. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave you now. I hope you're enjoying the fall weather. I hope you had a great Halloween. As always, I wish you love and light, and I will see you next month.